Hello. How do I look? Is our image quality better? New phone, who this? The phone that we've been using that has been cracked since 3 months into buying it is no longer going to be in use. We got a new phone. You are on the new phone. So yay, new phone. I did not get Spectrum. We are still working off of the hotspot, but we have a new phone. So you let me know if the quality is better because your girl spent some money on it. We got the Pixel 6a. This is not sponsored, but you know, everything is owned by Google anyway. But Pixel 6a, and Aaron basically sent me a video that was comparing all the phone cameras, like maybe 12 or 14 different phone cameras, and the 6A consistently came out on top for being in a very budget-friendly price range, as budget-friendly as phones get. So, in case you're looking for a new phone. I did shower. Thank you so much. We are going to be making dumplings for Lalo, and I'm making some ginger tea for myself because I finally got my period. Yay. I am suffering from pretty severe cramps right now. But we are going to make the dumplings for Grandma because we are out of dumplings and she really likes them. And I figured this is the perfect opportunity for me to go live. It has been a while, so welcome. Ginger tea is just ginger and water. Yes. Correct. It is very simple. You know, we call coffee coffee, but coffee is just bean water, isn't it? If you think about it. So we're gonna make the filling first. I already got started because I figured it's gonna take me for fucking ever while I'm making dumplings on my period at the end of the night. It's gonna be slow as fuck, but this will give us plenty of opportunity to just hang out. I can't promise that I'll pay attention to the comments since, you know, how this went last time was I just spent 85% of my energy on making dumplings. So I'm gonna grate some garlic into our mixture. This already has some soy sauce, sesame oil, vinegar, salt, MSG, white pepper, Sichuan pepper, sesame oil, did I say that? Ginger. So garlic is going to go in. I did wipe down the counter to my right in preparation. for rolling out our dumpling dough, which has been sitting in my fridge for 2 days because I made it and then I ran out of energy to finish it. So I'm gonna hope it didn't dry out too much in the 2 days. It was in a plastic container. Should be airtight, but you know, since when is airtight really airtight? I know I promised you guys an update in the title. It's kind of a clickbait, kind of not. I'm gonna tell you later. Just keep reminding me, maybe like an hour into the live, remind me. But I guess the first thing that I want to open tonight up, because it's been on my mind and it's kind of part of the reason why I haven't gone live in a week. One, I've been depressed. I've been tired because I've been depressed, but also tired because there's been a lot going on in life in terms of me trying to like finagle different kinds of part-time gigs to, you know, make some money, because I guess we still need money. But a big part of me not having gone live in such a long time is because, and I want to normalize this, and I want us to practice, maybe for just my sake, maybe it's a completely selfish move, but maybe it'll help some other people, I don't know. But in the spirit of sharing and being transparent, I would like us to normalize weight gain, right? And obviously weight gain is caused by a lot of different issues. Sometimes you literally just eat too much, which is part of my current issue. Sometimes you just gain weight because you're holding on to water, because of different health conditions, because of your menstrual cycle. My menstrual cycle has been completely fucked up since COVID, plus the added stress of everything else going on in life has made it just unpredictable. But in the past, I would say 3 to 4 weeks, I've gained anywhere between 10 and 15 pounds. It depends on the day. I don't fit into my jeans anymore, and I've been struggling with a lot of body image issues. However, I go through this weight gain cycle basically every year. So this year, I am practicing patience and compassion for myself, and I realize that this is just very much a cycle. And if you watched my Depression Week video, you know that I compared depression to seasons. And I want to practice looking at weight gain like a season. And I think a lot of people go into seasons like, fuck man, I hate summer, or I hate winter, I can't stand it. But when you do that to yourself, you just end up dreading a quarter of the year or more, right? Some epiphany happened to me today while I was staring at myself in the mirror, and I was like, I know a part of this reflection is making you extremely unhappy with yourself. However, and I giggled to myself, I was like, you did get a little plump everywhere. Your boobs are bigger. I don't really like big boobs, or, you know, I don't have big boobs, but I have bigger boobs. I don't really like bigger boobs because they are very impractical. Like, you know, they bounce around a little too much, and it feels painful sometimes, especially if you're around your cycle. Just putting it out there, like, that's the truth. They kind of get in the way. They're kind of like balls, you know, like, anyway, but I've never had balls, but I'm imagining they can be some sort of a hindrance to you sometimes. But anyway, I was like, this is just a different body. Like, yes, you're a little bit rounder everywhere. Yes, you don't fucking fit into your jeans everywhere. There's maybe like 2 out of 10 pairs of jeans that still fit you. Fine. Wear your other fucking clothes. You have a lot, right? And also, this is not the body that you want to hold yourself to consistently. It's not the body that society says is like the best body. However, I had a moment where I was like, wow, you have a different body. And you could grow to appreciate this body shape.
as much as you've grown to appreciate your previous body shapes that other people or other societal standards have applauded way more than this one. But I took a moment longer to stare at myself in the mirror and I was like, this is kind of cute. It's kind of cute. Um, So, I'm not saying like I'm completely on board with loving the current body, and it does, like, when I gain weight, it does show up in my face a lot, which, as you know, is fucking everywhere because I make videos, and then it gets me very self conscious because I have to look at myself in the video feedback, and then I have to look at myself during the edit, and then I have to compare myself to my previous selves that are all on my Instagram and other screens and everywhere, and it's inevitable that I compare myself to myself, which is so weird. But anyway, the point of this is, that's why I haven't gone live. That's part of why I haven't gone live. I'm working through it. I'm trying to open my mind up to be accepting of the changes of life, and I'm trying to train myself, as I've been trained my whole life, to appreciate this change and to allow myself to enjoy the change. Because, like, you know how actors basically gain weight or lose weight to fit a certain character they have to play? How is this any different, right? And I thought about how I basically put on different personas sometimes to make my videos, not because I want to manufacture like a completely artificial personality, but just more of hyping up a certain emotion so that I can convey it to you through the camera. Um, and this is just like taking on another character. It's almost like a different side of myself. And I realized that I could develop a different persona. I could develop a whole new different personality. Just like the way that I can change clothes and wearing different kinds of clothing with different styles and different colors and different patterns and different cuts make me feel like I'm playing a slightly different version of myself. How is the body any different than clothing, really, if you think about it, right? So I think I associate a slightly different kind of personality to go with a slightly different body shape or presentation. Just like the same way I cut my hair and it changes my personality a little bit. The body, its curves, its little lumpy bits, where it's soft, where it's muscular, they all convey a slightly different thing. And I've been trying to be good about keeping up with my mental health and doing the physical component of it by going to the gym, not every fucking day, because it's like been really fucking hard with just my cycle being very off. And anyway, still trying to go to the gym a few times a week. And I was like lifting some weights and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, damn girl, your arms look kind of swole right now. And I was like, that's a different persona too, you know? Like, yeah, you got a little rounder, but you got that muscle pump going and you look like a pretty strong gal. And I was like, that's a persona there too. Um, so I'm trying to have fun with it. It's like you've just given yourself more cards to draw on, to play with. That's the perspective I'm trying to bring into my own brain and outlook right now. Every time I look different, every time I judge myself, it's not necessary to judge myself against my previous selves in terms of is this better or worse. I can still judge myself in terms of evaluating myself. And the evaluation is simply what has changed and what persona does this physical form allow you to embody more and express more intensely. Focusing on the ability it is giving me to play a different side of myself. So I think if I can convincingly retrain myself to think in this way, I will be a lot less miserable. And so I am going to devote a little bit of my brain power away from critiquing my change against a flat standard and moving towards a way of embracing all the different opportunities physical change can embody for me, and allowing the self to be fluid instead of trying to force it to be stagnant. Because there is something so cruel about forcing yourself to stay the same. It is just so unrealistic and it's so exhausting. And it makes me so miserable sometimes. And why do I want to be more miserable than I have to be? You know? Okay. I am going to drink some ginger water. I have not been practicing my boxing, but yeah, if I see the person I want to fucking punch in the dick, you betcha, it's coming. You will bail me out? Okay, girl. Okay. I never put anything else in the ginger water for funsies, but maybe one day we can. Wow, look which asshole finished the ice and didn't refill it. It's me. So anyway, I've felt like in 2021, September, I published a video that was like basically my first long form video on this channel just as a test, and I shot it during a week off from work for my staycation. And that was a video where I first started talking about my disordered eating history and like kind of daily transformation / struggles. And I think since then, by making a video that's so directly talked about my history with disordered eating, I have allowed myself to let go of so much of the guilt and the shame that I associated with my history of disordered eating. And so I feel like the time has come for me to talk a little bit more about body image issues. Maybe you want to call it dysmorphia. I don't really fucking know what qualifies as dysmorphia, but I've heard the term used by some folks. In an attempt to give myself some exposure therapy. And I think I can just begin to let that go too. Guys, I've had disordered eating since like junior year or senior year of high school. It's been half of my fucking life. So I'm ready to let that shit go, man. It's exhausting. And this pandemic, plus Budget Eats blowing up, just seeing my face every fucking time I had to go to work has made it impossible for me to ignore my issues with my image and my body. And so basically I was subjected to involuntary exposure therapy. So we shall just continue the project. I think my new catchphrase is, it's not like I have a choice. Okay, ginger and garlic in. And like, there is so much shame and guilt associated with eating disorders, but it is very helpful for me to remind myself that disordered eating is not the problem. It is a symptom. It is hard sometimes to diagnose what the problem actually is because it can be brought on and triggered by so many different things that are out of your control in your life. And it's different for everyone, the way it manifests in your life. But I'm just saying, I think we can all benefit from not hiding it away, because I think when my eating disorder is the worst, what I do is I scroll away, I get antisocial because I'm so ashamed, and I just tend to hide and eat and binge in private. And that is when I get more and more disconnected with the outside world. Because that just embroils me into further shame. It's actually funny that when I eat socially, I don't really feel the need to eat so much. And I think it's because food comes to us in so many different forms. Food is not just the stuff that you put in your mouth, because I know some of you put stuff that is not food in your mouth. But food can also come in the forms of connection and friendship and honest conversations and, you know, different things that feed you in different ways. So because this is a large batch of filling, I'm going to be whipping the pork into a pasty consistency first before I add in a little bit of shredded veggies. And I'm going to shred some carrots, yes. I'm also going to slice up a lot of scallions, yes. But one thing that I've decided to do special for this filling is I got some broccoli stalks, and I think I'm going to grate the broccoli stalks in there. It's basically going to give it like a sweet cabbagey feel, tender and small enough of a ground consistency that grandma won't struggle with biting through it. So I'm not judging what you put in your mouth. I'm just saying I'm not going to do it myself, but you put whatever you want in your mouth, girl. You do you. If it makes you happy, who am I to stop your happiness? Take it wherever it comes. Aaron never eats his broccoli stalks. He always saves them for me, so I end up being the broccoli stalk human compost bin. It's a symbiotic relationship that we have. Wow, this is a workout. I think I've gotten really, really weak. I did do some deadlifts at 85 pounds tonight, though. On period cramps, can you believe it? I am a strong gal. I can actually do 100, but I didn't feel like ruining my whole body tonight while bleeding out of a hole, so. Is that over mixed? No, I want it to be pasty. What else has fructose? I think I'm kind of like allergic to fructose too, because I've discovered that after eating some fruits, I get really gassy. Guys, have you made dumpling filling before? All the people telling me it's overmixed. Girlfriend, we're not making a meatloaf. Why don't you come make Lala's dumpling filling? Adding a little baking soda. Interesting. I got the grater from the free table like years ago. What's best about grating the stalk is that the fibrous bits basically fall out and don't get grated, kind of like how ginger skin falls to the wayside when you grate it. It just knows that it's too tough and it stays out of the way. I wish some humans would do that, you know? So then, once I get to the skinny, toughy parts, it just refuses to get grated and I can toss it. I'm not the best granddaughter, you don't have to flatter me. I can be a fucking horrible granddaughter, but that's what makes me human. I also randomly wanted to thank you for always describing smells in such wonderful detail. Ooh, you're welcome. Smell is a huge part of eating food for me. Some people get really annoyed, I think, when they see me smell the food before eating it. Apparently it's rude in some cultures. I'm not trying to be rude, I'm just trying to like engage all my senses. I remember when I first started working in restaurant kitchens, I had a chef that told me explicitly, you must cook with all of your senses. You must hear the sounds as the food is transformed, you must smell it, you must look at it, and obviously you touch it and you taste it, but that tip definitely really changed the way I looked at food. So I always smell it. Smell is a huge part of my eating experience. And once you smell enough things, you start to be able to have smell association, which I think is where, let me sing my own humble brag praises. Some people say that I have a poetic way of describing food. It's really just thought association, but applied to smell and taste. Because if I've eaten enough or I've smelled enough, at some point in that collection of sensory stimulation, you begin to feel like there are similar identities flowing through very different objects. It's kind of like developing a vocabulary, it's just nonverbal. So in terms of eating things, it's kind of like reading books, learning words,
I guess food is a language, if you want to think about it that way. Cool. I think that was successful. So here we have our shredded brock stems and carrots. And I'm gonna probably salt this a little. I do have a digital version of the Flavor Bible. It has helped me in recipe development sometimes when I worked at Delish, because we just had to write so many recipes that I got tired of like using the same spices and combinations. And I did reference it a lot during making Budget Eats to think about what kind of, well, in the early days of Budget Eats when I was still trying to like be unique in every episode, and then I realized, okay, this is way too much work and I'm burning out. But anyway, yeah, Flavor Bible, pretty fun. However, I do think all the flavor pairings are rather westernized. So, you know, as with all things, it is kind of socially limited in terms of what kind of cultural variations it leans into. Okay, time for scallions. And I have a lot that I've already washed. I just realized my pot has been blocking this whole time. Rude. Ooh, that was a nasty sound. I'm sorry. Ginger tea. Cheers. Were there any questions that I missed that you want me to address? The mush is dumpling filling. You know, in terms of like the body image issue, one thing that just occurred to me is the shame comes from feeling like I've failed, right? I think most of my guilt and shame tend to be triggered by this thought that I've failed at something. That, you know, the objective is to be a specific type of beautiful, and by not attaining that ideal, I've failed to follow guidelines of that standardized vision of beauty. And so how do I tell myself that's not failure? Sesame oil. More, because Grandma loves sesame oil. Oh, I ate all the raisins. I put it with oats in yogurt, and I let it turn into overnight oats. I also made some into a cookie for my friend, and that was what happened to the raisins. I'm going to compare this smell to my previous batch of filling, which I still have a little bit of that I defrosted. This one has zucchini and mushrooms in it. I think I'm going to put a little bit of shiitake mushroom powder because I didn't chop any mushrooms in time. So we'll just go in with powdered mushrooms. Oh, the news. Sure, I can tell you guys the news right now. Erin is moving this weekend, which means we will be saying goodbye to that Woodside apartment that we've been in for 6 years. I'm thinking about doing one last live, maybe Friday, in that apartment for old time's sake. But no guarantees, we'll have to see. But that's the announcement. Erin has successfully built me my own computer, which means I will be editing at my own place now. The thumbnail to this live is a new desk that I actually bought old from a place in Long Island City called Remix Market, which is where I found this Pyrex pot. And I can't tell you guys where he's moving to. Let him have his life. He's not a social media whore like I am. Let him be private, guys. Let him go. And I just wanted to let you guys know that that phase of my life is officially ending. I will have no connection to that apartment. Freddie will not be there. And Freddie will come stay with me for a couple of days while Erin gets settled in and, organized. But Freddie will go back to Erin after he's all moved in. Unfortunately, this might mean that I'm going to have no sleep again for a week. Which is how I got COVID last time. So let's hope it's not that bad this time. And let's hope Freddie behaves.
But this also means that if I do lives here, you'll get to see Freddie. So. All right. Oh, God. Ladies, you know there is nothing quite as visceral as showering and seeing blood. It's, really reminds you of what an animal you are. But yeah, it don't feel good right now. I don't have a gag order on me. I'm working part-time to work on some newsletter stuff for Burlap and Barrel, and I'm testing some video content for them to help folks understand how easy spices are to use and to make them feel less intimidated about using spices. That's it. I just wanted to have like a mysterious element in the videos to make you ask me this question. But no, it's not a secret. This may be why you see me have a lot of Burlap and Barrel spices around. You got some tomato powder? What do you think? What do you think? My audience, wait, ads your lives mostly women? I don't know what that question means, but my audience is mostly women. On both Instagram and YouTube, my audience is basically 90% women, yes. You never get pain when you have periods because you are fucking lucky. Jerk. Way to brag about it. So yes, if you're wondering why I keep wearing these overalls for these lives, it's because they fit me and they're comfortable. Not because I intentionally want to be gross and lazy, but I am gross and lazy, yes. Just by default of living. I love the overalls too, and I think they were only like $6. What a steal! All right, 45 minutes in, we are going to start rolling out the dough. Where did I get them? I think I got them on the day of my tattoo. I think if you watch the Depression Week video, this is the one that I tore a hole in and had to sew up. Right there. By the way, does anybody drink instant coffee, and do you have a favorite brand? And I do not want the ones that come with creamer and sugar added in single serving packs. I want like pure granulated instant coffee. The tattoo is fully healed. It has healed wonderfully. Unfortunately, this tattoo did not heal very well. If like a lot of the ink dropped out in the middle flower, but it's fine. Whatever. Cafe Bustelo. Do I still have those overalls? Yes, I think I do. I think I do. Yes, Mount Hagen. Mount Hagen is what Aaron drinks, and I do love it very much. I don't really have psoriasis here. I think this is just a tough spot to heal. The artist who did my most recent tattoo said that they had one. I actually don't know what their pronouns are. They had one here, and it also didn't really heal very well. So maybe this is just a tricky spot to heal. I'm not sure. Yeah, I can only do instant. Sorry. The reason why I do instant is because I basically dilute a full serving of coffee in like a teaspoon of water, and then I fill the rest of it up with milk because I just want to drink coffee flavored milk. So I can't really brew my own coffee. I guess I can brew with milk. Nobody's ever done that I've seen, but see, Nescafe is owned by Nestle, guys. I just can't. Like, out of all the companies, Nestle. I know I don't make a difference, but I don't feel good consuming their coffee, especially if it's going to become a staple part of my life. I used some fancy chunky red salt, which did not dissolve very well. So this dough is looking like a marble. It has like all these little splotches of red salt in there. I like Mount Hagen. I was just wondering if anybody else had any other recommendations. Can we try something? Can I try to move you closer to me and you tell me if the quality drops? Let's try it. Zero-calorie sweeteners can go die in a ditch. The actually see your comments. How's the quality? Yay! Okay. Huzzah! Stone Street Coffee. Yes. Yes. This is a hot spot. This is just a new phone though. Monk fruit, it's better. Monk fruit is better than like stevia. I'm so glad the phone is working. I am so happy. I was starting to feel very ashamed of myself for putting on such shitty quality live streams, but I was also just so not in the mood to look for internet. But, you know, all we needed was a new phone, I guess. Let's see how long this phone lasts. I don't know if I have any other floofs in the future yet. One thing at a time. I'm giving myself some time to just not overwhelm with changes because there have been a lot of changes recently. But if I ever feel ready, I'll get one. But for now, I don't feel ready. I think I need to really kind of have a steady income before I can take on the responsibility of caring for an animal, especially because vet visits can rack up quite a bill. And I do prefer to get older cats. I don't think I'll get a dog. I think getting a dog in New York City is just a little too much and a little unfair for dogs. I don't really have many green spaces around here. Guys, listen. I paid more for Fred's visit to the vet than I paid for my own fucking medical bills, okay? Like, no joke. The fuck am I gonna do with this piece?
Jesus Christ. Alrighty then. Hello. Fred is okay. Fred is fine. Living his best life, I guess you could say, as a cat. There's our first dump. We're back to the shitty quality dumps. I have no idea how I'm gonna fold this one up. Jesus Christ. What a disaster. Truly. I know it's still early in the night, but this could be our ugliest dumpling. I don't think really there is a difference between wontons and dumpling besides the shape. So, you can call these wontons. There. Now we have a passable dough. I think there's certain variations on wontons and gyoza and dumpling and mandu, but they're basically all dumplings. So, technically, the Chinese word for dumpling is 饺子, which sounds very similar to Japanese gyoza. Mandu, which is a Korean dumpling, has always sounded very similar to mantou in Chinese, which is just steamed bread. It's basically like a bun, like a steamed bun that doesn't have a filling. So I'm sure they all have some sort of crossover together. I'm also curious how long the battery will last on this phone without charging. I started the live with a 95% charge. How often do I make dumplings? Well, I guess you can refer back to the last live and see when that is. I haven't made them since. Woof. This dough, I think, is also a little bit weird. It's
not really sticking the way I want it to. Huh. What did I do wrong this time? I wonder. I think there is some sort of a bird outside. Could be an owl, if it sounds like an owl. And yes, dumpling making is way funner with friends and family. And I was actually going to have Samira over tonight to make them with me, but she's also on her period. So she's just not feeling well. I think I've been noticing this phone doing like a focusing mechanism when I get close and far. Are you guys seeing that on your end too? It does a little zoomy swivel. Or am I just imagining things? You tell me if I'm hallucinating. Won't be the first time. Wow, it's so fancy. It's trying to focus for me. It's nice of the phone. Let your phone focus for you. You've missed so many things, Jenny. I guess you'll have no way of watching them ever again. There's definitely no way of digitally archiving these lives for all of eternity until aliens come for us, zombies come for us, or we come for ourselves and burn shit down. Right? I like the focusing zooms. It's fun. It makes me feel like I'm a tech person now. They can last forever. They can last forever in the freezer. Anything can last forever in the freezer. It's just a matter of, do they taste good after a certain while? Because they will start to take on the smells of the freezer and, you know, things get funky and they won't go bad. They just won't taste as good. That's all. It's all a trade-off. Time doesn't exist, period. Anywhere. Where does time exist? You tell me. Tale as old as time. That's it. Otherwise, I might actually sing enough to get copyrighted on tune. What if food doesn't freeze well? Oh, what food doesn't freeze well? Eggs. Raw eggs. Raw eggs will not freeze. Alright, let's go for a tiny dump. Let's see how tiny we can make this dump. taught me how to make dumplings. I think I made them once with Mom. But I had to develop a recipe for it during the pandemic, so I kind of taught myself, I guess. Must be those Chinese genes. Wow, we did it. Bye, have a good shampoo time. She looks cute. Frozen banana is a poor man's ice cream. But only if you have a rich man's blender, so it's kind of a falsehood. The dough recipe is up on Delish. There is all-purpose flour, cornstarch, salt, water. That's it. Literally nothing else. No, we're already on the new filling. I'm just keeping most of the filling in the fridge. And putting it into a pint container as I need it, because I don't want the meat mixture to sit outside at room temp for too long, because even though we're in February, it fucking feels like April. Shit is getting scary, y'all. I have a steamed balza recipe up on Delish too. Yep. I did it all. They're not pretty, but they taste good. Is blended chickpea without hummus still... Sorry, is blended chickpea without tahini still hummus? I think it depends who you ask. The atrocity that is chocolate hummus, I'm sure, will bring a potential culture war on, you know, so. Success rate for grandma is about, I don't know, 60%. Document my new recipes? No, because I'm not really a recipe girl. And I don't want to have to create a whole other platform to document things that I don't really readily make. If I make any recipes, I'm sure I'll make a video. And then in the description box, you'll have the recipe. And this is the blog, guys. This is the blog. Does the frame rate look weird to you guys? It feels weird on my end. I think I'm having a glitch in the matrix, y'all. Maybe this is like a mental break and I'm having derealization. Yes, it does look a little sped up. See? Amy, either we're the only ones dissociating, or everybody else is blind. Which one is it? June speed. Jerky. Yes, when I move, they look jerky. Okay, what is this video game vocabulary that has lately come into our slang? Like everybody is referring to NPCs in terms of life roles. This is like passing through our phase of 10 years ago saying you aren't the star of your own movie, you're the supporting character. But instead of supporting character, we're now choosing to use video game analogies and saying NPCs. Can somebody explain what NPC stands for? Non-player character. There you go. They're supporting characters. They're kind of just like in the game, programmed to act a certain way. They're not really important. They just push the plot along for the protagonist. I don't play video games, I'm guessing. Somebody correct me, please, if I'm completely off base. I like this one. I like her a lot. You know what's funny is yesterday I went to H Mart with Samira and I ended up buying pre-made dumplings for myself. Let me show you. I didn't buy them for Grandma because I had a feeling Grandma wouldn't like them. But they're Korean dumplings. Aren't they cute? They're huge. And I think they're vegetarian. Wheat flour, cabbage, leek, onion, sweet potato vermicelli, soy protein, spring onion, soybean oil, dried radish, salted radish, dumpling seasoning powder, which includes glucose, soy sauce powder, monosodium glutamate, maltodextrin, onion powder, salt, caramel color, black pepper powder, disodium 5-ribonucleotide, garlic powder. And then we have, in addition to that, sesame oil, isolated soybean protein, potato starch, garlic, powdered cellulose. Ew, what the fuck? Powdered cellulose. They're feeding me wood fibers in here. Monosodium glutamate, again, salt, sugar, soy sauce, emulsifier, which includes D-sorbitol, soybean oil, glycerin esters of fatty acids, lecithin, mixture, which includes sodium acetate, D-L-malic acid, and black pepper powder, ginger powder. Not bad, could be worse. Yay! I bought it. And I also bought myself for the first time in probably over a year, some chicken. Because I saw it and I was like, I have a feeling I want chicken. And you know what, guys? Usually how my depression works is, the worst part of my depression hits at about 12 to 15 pounds gained stage. So I believe we have hit rock bottom, or just about there. And part of me is like, girlfriend, you've got to stop just eating peanut butter day in and day out for 4 meals a day. Like, you gotta start eating other shit. And then my body was like, I want you to buy some fucking dumplings and chicken so that you could get yourself some actual protein in there and boil some shit so that, you know, you stop eating peanut butter. Anything at this point is better than peanut butter. Not because peanut butter is bad, because peanut butter only makes for a very imbalanced diet. So one can say that I am proud of myself for having at least taken the step to buy it. Whether or not I'm actually going to eat it is another story, but to be continued, the drama. Shrimp apparently is a terrible protein in terms of, well, they're all terrible, but apparently the labor conditions and the sourcing of shrimp is horrible. I don't really know much about it. I just know that Alicia Kennedy wrote a piece on it. And yeah, the shrimp industry, man, pretty fucked too. Guess what? We're just really good at making really fucked up systems. Yeah, I know. It sucks. I really like shrimp too. You guys are funny. Where did it? Let's see what battery power we're on. 55%, and we are an hour and 15 minutes in. So we can go live for 2.5 hours, I guess. Chicken breast? Girlfriend, who buys chicken breast? I bought thighs. The only chicken breasts I will ever buy has to come with the skin on. That skinless chicken breast is a terrible American invention. Yes, I did not buy the most humane farmer's market chicken. I currently psychologically cannot afford to do so. Maybe when I have a job that pays me $200,000 a year, I'll buy some of that fancy chicken. But right now, on very unstable income, I bought probably the saddest chicken thighs ever. And I'm hoping that I won't have to buy it again for like 4 months. I think it came in a pack of 12, so. It's not an apron! You won't poison yourself. Americans, they're so scared of like not hitting the right temperatures. I don't think Chinese people ever use thermometers in their meat. They just cook it until it's definitely dead, you know? But with chicken, it's pretty easy. If, you know, I feel like if there's no redness, you're definitely good. Although by the time you hit redness, like no redness on thighs and legs can sometimes mean you overcooked it a little bit, but it depends on the cooking method too. It's not a surefire visual cue. Wow, I love the marbling in this dough. You can't really see it, can you? A little bit, maybe? Mom used to love cooking pork chops, but she always made it so tough. And I think growing up, I had no problem with it. But once I started working in kitchens and went back to her and she was still cooking them that way, I was like, bro, the atrocities you are committing in that kitchen. Funny, huh? How culture can change you and your perception of what good is, of what acceptable is. Funny how you can be so malleable. Funny how you can play different characters. Funny how you can change and not feel like the self you used to be. And funny how we perceive some changes and deviation from our former selves to be good changes and some changes to be bad changes. And it makes you wonder, who told you that these changes are bad? What do they actually want you to do with these values in mind? What is the intention of making you feel good or bad about certain changes in yourself? I wonder what the hidden agenda could be. I'm gonna drink more ginger water. Actually, I'm gonna wash my hands, and then I'm gonna go pee, and then I'm gonna drink more ginger water. I will not neglect my bladder the way I did for 4.5 years in restaurants. No longer will I subject myself to the masters of the past. No, I don't want to open it up to Super Chats, but you can Venmo me, because Super Chats take away 30% of the money you give me and give it to Google, aka YouTube. And I don't want Google and YouTube to get your money. I would rather not get any money from you than give YouTube and Google your money. So I'm gonna go pee. I'll be back. Bye. Oh, God. It's not fun, y'all.
But I do feel like placebo effect or otherwise, the ginger soup, tea, water, whatever you want to call it, is helping the cramping a little bit.
What are you guys talking about? Are you talking about Aaron? The mystery of Aaron. Y'all are a bunch of nosy little kids, aren't you?
I think at some point y'all will just have to give up because, like, not everyone in my life will be as stupidly transparent as I am. And I've already learned the pitfalls pretty hard in the last, I don't know, 4 months probably, of being so transparent, because people will use this information to whatever twisted little desire they have. But doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing it, because this is just the way I live, man. People will always fuck you up and fuck you over if they intend on fucking you up and fucking you over. So, can't stop doing that shit just because somebody will come and be a bad guy. It's kind of like how when everybody got scared to do stuff after 9/11, you know, like interpersonal terrorism is very much a thing. And I did not learn about it before the last 4 months. Just how intense it can be and how long it might take me to realize what has been happening. There are some really shady people out there. And I think some people realize exactly what they're doing, and some people maybe don't even realize what they're doing. And either way, I want to feel for them and not against them. Not because I want to be a gracious human being that's like Jesus or whatever, but because I would rather just live with that lens. Because that lens is the only lens that makes life bearable for me. If I put on a lens of distrust and closure, I think my life will be just not pleasant and perhaps not worth living. Not that I'm suicidal, but I would rather make my life worth more in terms of worth living. And to live with distrust is just so sad. It's so sad to live in distrust all the time. So the only way I can protect myself from being disabled in that respect is to notice when people are taking advantage of me and to get the fuck out of that situation and not have them in my life anymore. And hopefully with more experience, I'll realize sooner what's happening in future instances. And I'm not going into detail because I am not done processing that shit yet. Oh, that strip is way too thin. Yeah-oh. How are there still 400 people watching? Literally just doing the same thing over and over again for over 2 hours. Y'all. And after a bathroom break, too. Alright, well, what can I do to entertain you guys more? I feel like obligated to entertain now with so many people present. What do you want? What do you want from me? Wow. It's either me or bad television? Holy shit. People get paid a lot of money for producing bad television. Aww. She's a cutie. Grandma doesn't eat the dumplings with anything. Have everyone Venmo me $1? You know, if we could get that sort of solidarity regarding literally anything else in this world, we would have, like, no capitalism by now. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But sure, you can Venmo me if you'd like. I'm not going to stop you throwing money at me. I'm sure there are some, like, overseas folk who don't have Venmo, though, so your plan is already bust, mister. Or sister. Or neither. Whatever you are, whoever you are. Just cogs in a machine. Hi, Germany. 5 a.m. Jesus Christ. Is that normal to wake up that early in Germany? You don't have any links, though, below your video? Yeah, no links. It's the same as my Instagram handle. I didn't plan on begging for money tonight, so I didn't drop the Venmo. Sorry. I normally don't plan on begging people for money. The one time that you guys bought me boots, it was a joke. And then you actually gave me money. And then it turned into reality. So, you know. Be careful what you joke about. I love the baby ones.
How adorable. Money can be helpful, but money can also be detrimental. It really depends on how you internalize what money is. It, like all tools, it can aid and it can kill. It gives with one hand and takes with the other. So, know thyself. Know thyself. I've done a lot of knowing thyself this past year. I'm still not there yet. Wow, Rose, really going hard over there. Rose says, you are not naive. This is all about business. Remember, this is a monetization of your talents. You better toughen up and promote your content. Rose, darling, I will promote my content how I see fit. So I guess this is already promoting my content, right? I am presenting to you a persona of mine, talking with you in this very relaxed way, giving you this impression that I don't care about money. Maybe this is all some kind of fucking reverse psychology to make you feel so connected to me that you will be so willing to give me whatever I ask for later on down the road. Maybe I'm a master of manipulation, but we just won't know until we hit that bump, will we? That's exactly what happened to me. Trust no one. Trust no one. Least of all, yourselves. I'm not familiar with Amanda Palmer's art of asking. Do enlighten us if you desire. What would you guys say my values are? What is your understanding of June's values? I'm curious. I feel like you think I'm a very kind person, but how do you actually know this? How can you be sure that I just am not going for that Oscar? It's a commitment. It's a real method acting. Yeah, maybe I am AI. How many of you have actually seen me in person? And how do we know those who have seen me in person aren't also AI? How do you know? Have you seen those deep fakes? Have you seen those chat GPT combos? It's total insanity right now. Total insanity. And what did Oxford conclude? I legitimately feel bad for the AI. True, Amy. That's terrifying. Fuck. Fuck it all, man. Oh, cramps, cramps, cramps. Like, how do you know that I haven't just been secretly sponsored by literally all of the brands I've been using in all of my videos? How do you know? How do you know I've been honest to you? You don't, right? You don't know. And likewise, how do you know the AI doesn't have an actual mind? How do you know? You don't know. Bye, good night, good luck with your migraine. I've been too honest about them. You're right. Lols. I mean, but I sure could have earned a shit ton of money from Vitamix and Instant Pot, couldn't I have? Yes, Lonely Girl. I remember Lonely Girl. Well, Truvia was for work, and I only got paid a fucking grand for doing all those branded deals that I'm sure the Hearst brands were getting, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for each of those campaign ads. Who knows where that money goes to? Not me. But anyway, Lonely Girl, OG YouTube. Hell yeah, I remember that. She was at the forefront of my mind when I first started going live and getting all sorts of emotional with y'all. I was like, damn, I am carrying on the legacy of Lonely Girl. How shocked would you be if I came out as Lonely Girl 2.0? One to 10, how shocked? How shocked would I be if I came out as Lonely Girl 2.0? That cooking everything with chickpeas show got us in so much trouble because we released that video right as Goya got canceled for being a Trump supporter. And there was like a huge rush to take all the Goya branding out of the thumbnail of that video. It was a weekend. And then lo and behold, just like a fucking year and a half later, we were taking ad money from Goya to put in our print magazine. That, ladies and gents, and everyone who doesn't think they are ladies or gents, is how media works. You ride the wave to make the money wherever the money is coming from at that time. Leftover baked sweet potatoes is basically leftover sweet potato mash, right? You can make soup, you can make pie, you can make cake, you can make bread, you can make fritters. I don't know, man. You do you. Whatever you want to do. The world is your oyster. I don't need to give you any recipes. The whole internet has recipes. I don't think I can take another corporate media job for the rest of my life. And if I do, I'm going to end up hating myself so much. It's going to be like returning to your abuser. Which, you know, I could just be stupid enough to do, honestly. Any of us can be. Just depends on whether or not the system rewards you for being abused. And currently, it fucking does. So, unless you find an alternative view and a venue to reward yourself for not getting abused, you will continue to go back to your abuser. That is the system that we work under. Nope, dough is great. I'm keeping it under a dampened paper towel and it's working lovely. It doesn't even need water to seal. It is the perfect moisture right now. Have you thought about moving back to China? Hell no, girl. What? Why? Why would I? Last time I went to China, all of my relatives were like, get the fuck out now. Yes. Filling is pork, mainly. They could not believe I went back to China to teach. They were like, what the hell are you doing? Good to see you, but stop doing this. I'm into communism. Yeah, surprise. China isn't actually communism. Communism exists in theory only. It is impossible to enact communism on a large scale like that. You always have humans trying to usurp power over others. Communism is really only possible on a small scale level among consenting solidarity. So, good luck, comrades. Good luck. How are we doing on battery? 37%. Oh my god, it's 11:22? Jesus Christ. IDK if I can do all the dumps today, unfortunately. I'm tired. It would be most efficient if I can finish everything today, because then I don't have to clean the surface and yada yada yada, but your girl can only work so fast. Fred is doing great. I think. Actually, he had a little diarrhea the other day, and he had a mini asthma session when I was there, but he like started hiding and running away from me when I tried to give him the rescue inhaler. I think he might be a little bit stressed, maybe, about the upcoming move. There's boxes everywhere and constantly strangers coming into the apartment to do like checks, viewings. So, I'm sure he's feeling a little frazzled, like all of us. Good morning, UK. Welcome to your stupidly early morning. Are you like 8 hours ahead or something? I forget what the time difference is now. How did you make your ginger tea? Literally, water and ginger over heat. You can make it as strong or as diluted as you like. Sometimes I like to make it really strong and serve it over ice. 4:24, yikes. That is too early. I will go live for as long as this battery allows. How about that? Ginger turmeric tea? No, but I can. I don't have fresh turmeric, but I have dry turmeric. The smol update was that, well, the smol update was that I finally got my period. The medium update is that Aaron is moving. So, goodbye to our Woodside apartment that we shot Budget Eats in forever. And I guess, like, a rather non-existent but also huge update is I'm trying to